Hey folks, Jonathan here. Next day, early morning, getting ready to start on this. Maybe I won't get called off and have to run out on a wrecker call, but we're going to try to at least go ahead and get the rear body off and maybe see what we can do about getting the doors off. But anyway, I wanted to say a few things. You know, read all the comments, try to keep all the comments read anyway. Like I said, a lot of times I'm reading them on my cell phone and I'm just no good at posting back on the cell phone. I just got a smartphone at Christmas. Before that I had a flip phone, so I'm still not very good on it, but we may do, it'd be nice to do some live streams and stuff maybe later. But anyway, what I'm getting at, you know, a lot of people, of course, at the beginning said, you know, that I'm, you know, messing up a good original Triumph Herald, you know, rare car or whatever. And that's why I done the video yesterday to show everybody the close-up on this thing, and I think it seems to have changed everybody's mind on this. One thing I have noticed, it seems like a lot of the fellows that are actually in the UK are more forward on this than some of the ones that are here in the States, and which is surprising. But you know, they probably understand and see these things a lot more than what we do here. But you know, I just like the style, but I like the lightness of it, and I like that it's different. It's not a MG or you know, a Triumph Spitfire or something like that that everybody's seen before. So that's one of the reasons I like to do it, and I like the little fins on the back. I just think it's a neat little car. And to some people, you know, this car's, as long as I own it, will never be painted and clean and shiny and nice. You know, I'm probably going to hit it with a sander and clear coat it and leave it just like it is, and just fix the rust spots. We'll weld everything in and you know, make it solid. But you know, I do plan to run a cage, so you know, the body's never going to be any strength anyway. I mean, there's no strength there to start with, so you know, frame and cage is what we're working with. And then there's the issue that, you know, some people are saying, well, you got, you know, the big block, why don't you put it in a different car? And the whole deal is, you got to understand that if I was actually building something that I wanted to actually take down to the drag strip and be really fast with, I've got 4.8, 5.3, 6.0 LS motors. I got a debit card. I could order some turbos and just go all out. I got a good friend at Rick Hendrick Chevrolet that can wire everything and program them and do everything I need to do to make a fast car that would probably just eat this thing up. But you know, it's the point of it. It don't have anything to do with, you know, hey, I'm going to go out and try to beat, you know, somebody. It's just what I want to do, and I want to do it on the cheap. You know, we don't want to spend money. So that's what we're trying to get at. And it's, you know, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not broke. I'm not saying I'm doing it because I don't have the money. It's just that, you know, this is what I've gotten used to in life, you know, building stuff without money. And, you know, I think that people, you know, that don't have the money still should be able to enjoy something. You know, I totally understand that a lot of people have got to work and spend all the money they make on bills and, you know, house payments, land payments, or whatever, you know, feed the family. And I've done that for years and years, and I didn't have money to put into anything, so I was building stuff without spending money. And I'm not in a position where I have to do that now, but I'm in a position to where I want to do that now, and I hope to influence people in a good way to get them to, you know that they can do something without you know, having to break out a big checkbook or something. And you know, the whole point is that, you know, when you're doing this stuff is to have fun at it. And when you turn it into something where you're not having fun anymore, that's when you know, it becomes bad. Because, you know, the competition sometimes, when people start doing stuff, whether it be tractor pulling or, you know, I guess drag racing would be the same. Once the competition gets really in their heads, they it sort of turns them away from the enjoyment part of it. And you know, that's not what we want. We want do it and enjoy building it, and then see if we can get the front wheels in the air. I mean, that's really my goal. You know, I don't know whether we'll end up down at the track with it or not. If we do, it won't be as a competition. It'll be just down there playing. But you know, I'd love to see what it would do in an 1/8 mile or even a 1/4 mile when we're done. But like I said, you know, it's all for fun. And if I was just trying to build something that was super fast, I mean, I've got other cars here. I've got plenty of stuff I could put together. And like I said, it would be probably something LS with turbos like everybody else is doing now, because it's hard to beat that. I mean, it's, you know, you can get so much horsepower out of them, and the weight's there and the dependability's there. So you know, I'm just doing old school. We're doing something like, you know, a 16-year-old boy would have done, you know, 20-30 years ago, just building with what he had, and that's what we're going to do. So you know, I know a lot of people suggest, you know, using a different car, and you know, this one's not going to track, and you know, you're not going to keep it straight and all this, and that's part of the fun of it. We're going to try. You know, whatever happens, happens, and we'll just go from there. But I'm going to get to work on trying to get that back body off, and hopefully we can get this thing tore down and get it in the shop. I'm ready to work on that frame. I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, show you more. Okay folks, I've got the back of the body up. I'm going to try to pull the car out from under it. Then I'll drop the car, come back, pick the body up with the forklift and get it out of the way. I was trying to videotape this before, and battery went low, my car just about filled up, and then the camera just started shooting at the sky for some reason. This tripod, I'm gonna wonder if there ain't a spring in it or something. But anyway, we'll try this again here. Hopefully I can get out from under it. Okay, we got that taken care of. Now I think we'll work on getting the front clip off, and we'll work from there. Okay, we're working on trying to get the bolts out of the front end. They've been in there a long time. I did find a pile of spark plugs up in here. I don't know whether this thing, maybe it was running and fouling them or what, but one thing about it, I put a bar back here, and I actually got the engine unstuck. I took the water pump's still stuck, so I'll probably have to cut the belt, but we may try to start it, maybe just pouring gas in the carburetor and see if it'll fire up, just for the heck of it. Like I said, it's been about 30 years. Still not able to get it in neutral yet, but we'll see if we can figure that out. Got three of the, I got the one bolt out on this side. There you go. These are Phillips, and I've got one stuck. I got the other two out, so they, these bolts won't be bad inside. This sun's killer, but we can get the doors off of it. And I'm having trouble getting this last bolt on the front end, the other bolt on the front end, to come loose. I got the nut off of it, but it don't want to come loose through the bushing where the hood tilts. So we're having some issues with that. I did a little measuring, and we're going to be close getting them tires in there. But what I've thought about it a little bit, and what I may do once I get this frame in the shop and get it all set up and how I want it, because this frame is 3 inches tall, I will probably lay it out long ways and slice into the top of the frame, take it out and lay my 2x3 tubing in this frame and let it come out the side, of course, and straight up to the front end. And I may bring it on back because these are going to have to go, I've pretty well, yeah, definitely for sure, to clear them tires. So what we'll do is come back, and then I can notch the piece and bring it up, because the frame's flat and then it comes up at the back. So, and we'll just have to redo the mounts for the back, which we've got to cut it out anyway. We've got to have room for a fuel cell. I've got some, like I said, some ideas on this suspension that is completely different than what I think I've ever seen anyway, and I've never seen it like it. So we've got to get all the ladder bars mounted, rear end mounted, narrowed up everything, and then we'll go with what I'm going to do on this suspension later. But I'm going to continue to work on getting these off. We're going to get the doors off of it, and we'll go from there. Okay, we had one of these countersink screws that was in this door. It was just like this one, and it was rounded off inside. It was rusty, so I welded a nut on it. Hopefully we can get it out. Oh, that was pretty easy. I must have got it hot. Well, I know it got it hot. but the heat must have helped it. Alright, get that out and get this door off. Okay, we're getting closer. Now we just gotta pull the engine out and a few panels and radiator. We're probably gonna leave the front bumper on it. I think it's actually welded to it in the center down here. So we'll straighten some of that out and all, but we're not gonna worry a lot with it. I'm not gonna start the engine up. And even though I did get it unstuck, I don't want to take time away from what the priorities are and, you know, our goal, which is to get this frame in the shop, because we are due to have bad weather again before too long, snow and ice and stuff. And if I can get this apart, you know, get the engine transmission out, and I may or may not leave the rear end until I get it in, it don't matter. But if I can get this thing apart, I can go ahead and get it in the shop and we can get to working on it like I want to. And let me zoom you out here where you can see, and everything's pretty good. The only thing I ran into, this bar back here where somebody had pulled on it before had some twist in it, so when I took it off it twisted. But like I said, we're not going to be able to use these where they're at, the way they are. So we're just going to keep at tearing this thing down. I think I can hopefully get these off and that radiator and get the engine transmission out today. If we can do that, then we can get the get it in the shop and get something figured out on it. Of course, there's no water in it. I didn't see any cracks on the block, and it's good, you know, full of oil. And I know the water pump's locked up. I don't know whether, I don't think the generator's locked up. It's moving a little tiny bit, but you know, I think I could actually start it up and get it running, but that'll be later. Don't know what I'm going to do with the transmission or the motor. I hadn't thought a lot about it. Ah, there we go. I think we might have got it in neutral now. Yep. I couldn't get it to move from the bottom. So we'll see what happens from there, and that would make it. That would have made a nice little go-kart engine for Graydon's little cart, but we're past that now. So anyway, I'll keep at it, and hopefully I can show you, you know, at least a partially bare frame here in a little bit. All right. okay. She's stripped down. Get her cleaned up. Hopefully I'll get a chance to pressure wash it before I got to put it in the shop. Not looking bad at all. So far I like what I'm seeing. The frame's, you know, solid even on top. Haven't found any places that are rusted through at all on the frame. Yeah, so far so good. Like what I see. I think we can work with it. Decided to set the engine beside the other engine. Almost looks like they sent the wrong replacement engine there, but one thing I see that I really like, that I'm surprised, is height. Figured it'd be a lot more difference. Now there's no carburetor on the other one, but you know, there's probably not, just sitting there's probably not an inch difference between the height of the valve covers, maybe an inch and a half. So you know, that's a good thing, because that's my real worry is when I set the body on, you know, getting into the windshield, because the engine's going to be sitting back farther, and you know, lengthwise it's a big difference, and which is not an issue. That's coming, you know, it's going to get moved back. But it looks good to me. I think it'll work out just fine. Big difference in weight. I'm just looking at this one, the carburetor stuck on it too. Got some trash down it, so that'll have to be pulled off before it's even tried to get started. But I'll keep this covered, and you know, I don't junk it. I don't throw this stuff away, so don't think this is going to go to the junkyard. This will either go to somebody that can use it, or it'll go to a future project of mine. You know, I never know what I'm doing. You know, be good on something anyway. But I'm gonna get back here and might go ahead and pull the drive shaft real quick, and you know, the rear's not gonna be bad to get out either. So looking good so far. I'm not seeing any issues now. I tried not to cut anything I didn't have to cut on this thing. You can see the mount was bad there, but I did cut the exhaust, and I did cut the steering arm, and the steering shaft I didn't want to pull it anyway, and you know, I've got to redo it, so you know, that wasn't a big issue. The rack seems to be really tight on this thing. There is a little bit of play on the inner tie rod ends, so we may try to find some replacements for them. You know, I'm going to try to use this same exact setup, only change the spindles, and either box these or make new ones. I'll probably make new ones, and then we can do some supporting here. And like I said, we're going to bring our frame all the way from the back to the front. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lay it inside of it, because I don't want this width any farther than what it is toward the tire, because I need room for them slicks. And well, I need room for my ladder bar setup that's going through there, and then the slicks, of course. But anyway, I think we'll call it a video anyway, and I'll probably keep working, just seeing what else I can get done here before it gets dark. The sun's about down now, so been on and off today, but I mean, I've had a little bit of time today, so it hasn't been real bad. So we will keep playing here, and maybe tomorrow, if the weather's not bad, you know, we can pick the big block up and just set it down there, just to see what it looks like. See what kind of clearance issues and stuff on that front end we're going to get. You know, the harmonic balancer is going to be right up in here, which is just forward of the center of the axle. So that's going to put a lot of the weight toward the back. You know, it's going to be transferring a lot of weight toward the back. And anyway, so we've got some redesigning to do here, and I want to keep that. I just want to change it around where I can get a, you know, get an oil pan through there, or get the transmission pan where we can get it on and off. But basically the engine's going to be sitting above the frame. So alright, I appreciate everybody watching, and you know, keep watching. We've got more coming. Alright, bye.